Okay, I'm going to answer question 2, and I'm going to start with question 2a. So I'll also answer question 2b. So question 2a is as follows. Solve the equation 3x plus 5 over x is equal to 12. Give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. So this question was carrying 5 marks. So how do you solve this one? First of all, I'm going to rewrite the equation given. Okay, so this is the equation given, and this is a quadratic equation. So what we need to do is, first we need to write this quadratic equation into an equation which is going to give us the answer, which is 0. So to do that, I'm going to start by getting rid of the fraction, so which means I'm going to multiply all the terms in this equation by x. As you can see, the x down there is the denominator, only 5 over x. So I want to get rid of that x, which is the denominator of that fraction where 5 is a numerator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply all the 3 terms by x, so that I can get rid of that x, which is a denominator. So I'm going to multiply x by 3x, and plus, then I'm going to multiply 5x by 5 over x by x, and then I'm also going to multiply 12 by x. Okay, excuse me. So now let's start doing the actual multiplication. So x multiplied by 3x is going to give me 3x squared. Then 5 over x multiplied by x is more or less like the x down here and the x on top will cancel each other out. Then I'm going just to remain with the 5, which is going to be plus 5. Okay, which will be equal to negative 3, so negative 12x. Where I've put minus 5, it should be plus 5. I don't know what has happened. So it's going to be 3x squared plus 5 is equal to 12x. Okay, then I'm going to write, I'm going now at this stage, I'm going to change this. I'm going to write this quadratic expression to like the expression like ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Remember earlier on I said that I want to change this quadratic equation to an expression that's going to give us the answer, which is 0. Okay, so once I've done that, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 3x squared. Then remember we are following the format, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. So I'm going to get the term that has got x. Okay, and that term is 12. Now since 12 is going to cross the equal sign, it's going to become minus 12. So it's going to be minus 12. Remember where I wrote negative 5, it should be plus 5. That was just a mistake. It's supposed to be plus 5, so I'm going to write plus 5, which is equal to 0. Okay, now I've rewritten the quadratic expression to that format. Okay, once I've done that, then now I'm going to find the value of x in this quadratic equation. So I'm going to use the formula we use to find the value of x in a quadratic equation. So the formula is x is equal to negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac. Okay, that divided by 2a. Okay, once I've written this formula, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the letters by the values. So I'm going to write x is equal to, then negative then the value of b in this equation is negative 12. So the value of b in this equation is negative 12. So I'm going to write that, open bracket, negative. So I'm getting the numbers from that quadratic equation, which I have circled in light blue there. Okay, so negative 12 is going to come from that quadratic equation, which is the value of b. So negative 12 is the value of b. So I'm going to write negative multiplied by negative 12. So the value of b is negative 12. That's why you can see double negatives there, which will be plus or minus, then the square root. Then what is the value of b? The value of b is negative 12. So it's going to be negative 12 squared, because there is b squared. So it is going to be negative 12 squared, which will be minus 4. Then what is the value of a? The value of a is 3. Then what is the value of c? The value of c is 5, positive 5. So it's going to be multiplied by positive 5, the whole lot of that, over 2 multiplied by a, which is the value of a is 3. So it's going to be multiplied by 3. Okay, once I've done that, then the next thing I'm going to do the actual multiplication. So I'm going to write x is equal to, so negative multiplied by negative 12 is going to give us positive 12, which will be plus or minus, then square root, then negative 12 multiplied by negative 12. Okay, negative 12 multiplied by negative 12 is going to give us 144, which is minus 4 multiplied by negative 4 multiplied by 3 will give us negative 12, which will be multiplied by 5, then which will be over 2 multiplied by 3 will give us 6. Okay, now once I've done that, remember I also need to get the product of 12 multiplied negative 12 multiplied by 5. So I'm going to say x is equal to 12 plus or minus, then square root of 144. Then I'm going to multiply negative 12 by 5 will give me negative 60, which will be over 6. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm going to find the difference of 144 minus 60. Remember, the square root is stretching up to where the end. So 144 and 60, these are numbers inside the square root. Okay, so I'm going to write down x is equal to 12 plus or minus, and then I'm going to minus the square root. So 144 minus 60 will give me 84, which will be over 6. Okay, so this is the value I found at this stage. Now we need to find the value of, when you add 12 to the square root of 84 divided by 6, and when you subtract the square root of 84 from 12 divided by 6. Okay, so now let's see what we get. So now let's find when we add 12 to the square root of 84, then divided by 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 12 plus square root of 84 divided by 6. Okay, so what I urge you viewers to do is you get your calculator, then first you punch 12 plus square root 84. Okay, so when you punch that, you are going to have x is equal to that one, which is 21.1651513899111. Okay, that is the sum you're going to get, which will be divided by 6. Okay, then we're going to say x is equal to, so when you divide 21.1651513899111 11 by 6, you're going to get 3.52752523165119. Okay, now this is the quotient you have gotten after dividing 21 point after dividing 21 point those numbers by 6, then you get that quotient. Now that is the final answer. So now we need to round off that answer to 2 decimal places. So that means we're going to have x is equal to 3.5. Now we are going to look at 2 and the number that is following 2. Immediately after 5, the number that is following 2, that is 7. So 7 is bigger than 5. So that means we're going to add 1 to 2. So it's going to be 3.53. Okay, so that is the first value. Now we are not yet done. We need to find again the second value. So this time we're going to subtract the square root of 84 from 12. Okay, so we're going to write that expression, which is over 6. So we have now 12 minus the square root of 84 over 6. So what we're going to do now, we're going to punch in just like we did earlier on. We're going to punch in our calculator 12 minus square root of 84. So when we punch that, it's going to give us which is x is equal to 2.83484861008883. okay, that will be divided by 6. Okay, so when you divide that by 6, we're going to get x, which is equal to 0.47 24 74 76 68 34 80. That will be the quotient. Okay, then we're going to round off that number to 2 decimal places. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write x is equal to 0.4. Now we look at 7. 7 is the number we're going to round off, and then when we look at the next number, it's 2. 2 is less than 5, so we're going to add 0 to 7, which will be the same 7. Okay, so that is the second answer. So the value of x in the given quadratic equation is either x is equal to 3.53 or 0.47. Okay, so basically these are the answers examiners were looking for from you students. Now let's go to question 2b. Okay, so question 2b was as follows. A boy has a bag containing 5 green balls, 1 red ball, and 4 blue balls. A ball is selected at random from the bag and not replaced. A second ball is then selected. Now, question 2b1 is draw a tree diagram to show all the possible outcomes. And this question was carrying 3 marks. Okay, so what we need to understand is we need to understand what is contained in the bag, how many balls are in the bag altogether. So let's start by drawing the bag here. So this orange circle represents a bag, and in this bag there are 5 green balls. There is also 1 red ball, and there is also 4 blue balls. Okay, so these are the balls that are contained in the bag. Okay, and in this bag 1 ball is selected at random. Okay, so in this bag 1 ball is selected at random. So we can say G, that is that line which is G stands for green ball, and that means that the ball that was selected was green, and the red line stands for a ball that which was corrected is red, and blue stands for the blue ball. Okay, so before we do anything, we need to write the probability of picking a green ball when this first ball was picked. Okay, so before we do that, we need to find the total number of balls in the bag. Okay, so to do that, what we're going to do is we are going to find the total number of balls in the bag. So how many balls are in the bag? We have got 5 balls which are green, and we have got 1 ball which is red, and we have 4 balls which are blue. Now when you put all these numbers together, 5 plus 1 is give us 6, and 6 plus 4 will give us 10. So in the bag there are 10 balls. Okay, since there are 10 balls in the bag, now what is the probability of picking a green ball? Okay, so what we need to do is we're going to look at the balls in the bag. We are told that there are 5 balls in the bag. So we're going to write 5 out of how many balls? So the chances of picking a green ball are 5 out of 10 balls. Okay, there are 10 balls altogether, so the chances of picking a green ball are 5. Okay, so now that is the probability of picking a green ball is 5 over 10. Okay, we come to red. What is the probability of picking a red ball? How many red balls are in the bag? There is only 1 ball. That means the probability of picking a red ball is 1 over 10. Okay, there is only 1 ball in a bag where there is 10 balls, so the probability of picking a red ball is 1 over 10. What is the probability of picking a blue ball? So the probability of picking a blue ball is, so the number of blue balls in the bag is 4. So that means there are 4 balls which are blue. So the probability will be 4 over 10. Okay, so these are the probabilities of picking these balls. So for the green is 5 over 10, and for the red is 1 over 10, and for the blue is 4 over 10. Now these are probabilities when picking a ball for the first time. Okay, the first selection, the first time you select a ball from the bag, these will be the probabilities of picking either a green, red, or blue. Okay, so now we have found the probabilities of picking the balls of different colors at the first time. Now let's find the probability of picking a green ball at the second selection. Okay, the second time you select. Now this is the ball you have picked and you haven't replaced it. So let's find the probability of picking a green ball for the second time. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to draw the same like this. Okay, let me just reduce the size. Okay, so that means if the ball that was picked at first was green, now what will be the probability of us picking green, red, or blue? Okay, so I'm going to write, I'm going to start with the arm which is green. if we picked the ball which is green, which has the probability of 5 over 10, what will be the probability of us picking the green ball, or the red, or even the blue ball? Okay, so what would be the probability of picking a green ball when we picked a green ball at first? Okay, so since we picked a green ball and we did not replace it, that means the number of balls, the number of green balls in the bag has reduced by 1. That means in the bag there is no longer 5 green balls, but 4 green balls. So we're going to have 4. Now, since 1 ball has been subtracted, remember we had a total of 10 balls in the bag. Now 1 ball has been selected, it has been taken out, and it wasn't replaced. That means we are remaining with 9 balls. So since the ball that was picked was green, that means the probability of picking a green ball again is 4 out of 9. So it would be the probability of picking a green ball for the second time will be 4 over 9. Okay, now what will be the probability of picking a red ball when a green ball was picked at first? So the probability of picking a red ball when at first the green ball was picked, that means in the bag we still remain with 1 red ball. That means the probability of picking a red ball here is 1 over 9, because there is still 1 ball in the bag, because at first we picked a green ball. Okay, now what will be the probability of picking a blue ball when a green ball was picked at first? So in the bag there is still 4 blue balls. That means the probability of picking a blue ball in the second selection is 4 over 9. Okay, why 9? Because at first we picked a green ball. That means in the bag there only remained 9 balls. Okay, so the probability will be 4 over 9. Okay, now what will be the probability of picking a green ball when a red ball was picked? So this time we're going to go to the arm which is in red, that which stands for a red ball being picked at first. Okay, excuse me. So if the red ball was picked at first, what will be the probability of picking a green ball? Okay, so we are on the arm of red, so we are going to write green there and red and blue there. So what will be the probability of picking a green ball? Since a red ball was picked at first, that means the number of balls in the bag were reduced to 9. However, the number of green balls were not reduced, so that means in the bag we still have 5 green balls since a red ball was picked. So the probability of picking a green ball will be 5 over 9. Okay, now what will be the probability of picking a red ball when a red ball was picked at first? So picking a red ball for the second time, that means in the bag there was only 1 red ball, so the same red ball was picked at the first time. So that means the probability of picking a red ball for the second time is 0 over 9. Because when the ball was picked at first and wasn't replaced or wasn't put back in the bag, that means in the bag there remained no red ball. So the probability of picking a red ball for the second time will be 0 over 9. Okay, now what will be the probability of picking a blue ball when a red ball is picked at first? So the probability of picking a blue ball when a red ball is picked at first is, so in the bag, when the red ball is picked, in the bag remained 4 blue balls. That means we're going to have 4. Okay, it will be 4 over, so we're going to remain with 4 balls over 9. Okay, it will be 4 over 9, not 4 over 10. That was an error to write 4 over 10. It should be 4 over 9. So the probability of picking a blue ball for the second time is 4 over 9, not 4 over 10. Okay, then what is going to be the probability of picking a green ball when a blue ball was picked at first? So I'm going to write green, red, and blue there. Okay, so the probability of picking a green ball when a blue ball was picked at first will be, now remember, this time the probability is that we picked a blue ball which wasn't put back. That means in the bag there were only 9 balls. So the probability of picking a green ball when a blue ball was picked at first will be, so the number of green balls will be the same, which is 5. It will be 5 over, now since one ball was picked out and wasn't put back, that means the ball that remained in the bag are 9, so it will be 5 over 9. Then what will be the probability of picking a red ball when a blue ball was picked at first? Okay, so the probability will be 1 over 9. 1 over 9. Okay, the probability of picking a red ball for this in the second selection when a blue ball was picked at first will be 1 over 9. Okay, now what will be the probability of picking a blue ball for the second time? Okay, at the first time the blue ball was picked, then and in the second selection the blue ball is now going to be picked. What will be the probability of picking a blue ball when the blue ball is picked at first? So the probability is going to be 3 over 9. Okay, so 3 over 9 is the probability of picking a blue ball for the second time. Okay, so basically these were the answers, and this is the tree diagram our examiners expected you students to draw. Okay, now let's go to question 2b2. Okay, so question 2b2 was find the probability that the two balls are of the same color. Okay, so we're going to find the probability of picking balls from the bag of the same color. Okay, so to find the probability of picking the two balls of the same color, we're going to use this expression, which is probability of green green plus probability of red red plus the probability of blue blue. Okay, so what is the first probability of getting a green ball? So the probability of getting a green ball is, the first one is 5 over 10. Okay, 5 over 10. And then what is the second probability of getting a green color? So we're going to say multiply by, I'm going to put this expression in brackets, so which will be multiplied by the probability of getting a green color, a second green color after picking a green color at first is 4 over 9. So multiply by 4 over 9, close bracket, plus, then open bracket. Now we come to red. What's the first probability of picking a red ball? Is 1 over 10. So it's going to be 1 over 10. Then multiply by the probability of picking a red ball when a red ball is picked is 0 over 9. Okay, close bracket, plus, open bracket. What is the probability of picking a blue ball at first? Is 4 over 10. Okay, multiply by what is the probability of picking the second blue ball? Is 3 over 9. Okay, close bracket. Okay, once we have done this, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply these numbers inside the brackets. So we're going to multiply the first brackets, which is 5 over 10 multiplied by 4 over 9. So 5 multiplied by 4 will give us 20, which will be over 10 multiplied by 9 will give us 90. Plus, then we go into the second bracket, which is 1 over 10 multiplied by 0 over 9. So 1 multiplied by 0 will give us 0, which will be over 10 multiplied by 9 will give us 90. Then we are going to go to another bracket, the last one. So we're going to say plus. Then the last brackets are have 4 over 10 multiplied by 3 over 9. So 4 multiplied by 3 will give us 12 over 10 multiplied by 9 will give us 90. Okay, now here I've come up with these three fractions, which is 20 over 90 plus 0 over 90 plus 12 over 90. Now, as you can see, we have got common denominator, which is 90. So we're going to pick one of these 90s. So we're going to pick one of these 90s. So I'm going to pick 190 and make it a common denominator, okay, which will be 90. Now, once I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 20 plus 0 will give me 20. Then 20 plus 12 will give me 32. So when you add those three fractions, they're going to give you 32 over 90. Okay? Once you have this, then you can check whether you can find a number that you can use that can go into 32 and 90, or that you can use to divide 32 and 90 and give you a quotient without a remainder. So the number that can go into 32 and 90 is 2. So I'm going to divide both numbers by 2. So divide by 2, divide by 2. So 32 divided by 2 will give me 16. 90 divided by 2 will give me, so I'm going to say over 90 divided by 2 will give me 45. Okay, so 45 is the probability of picking two balls with the same color. 16 over 45 is the probability of picking two balls of the same color. Okay, so basically this is the way you are supposed to answer question 2. Thank you so much for watching. It has been easy learning Z Mathematics. The future is bright. See you in the next video, and God bless you.